Yo. Yo, just a scenario, it started young, like when I was just a kid. Watching with my pops, man, that's how I live. They see Milan on the screen, dreams in my eyes. Come quando the bambino, man, time flies. The Rossoneri bloodline, deep in my veins. From the highs to the lows, I was feeling the pain. A life next to the devil, that's where I reside. Una vida que el diavolo, we ride or die. Bandito forever, man, this love won't fade. From San Siro nights to memories we made. Bandito, the red and black we fight. Living for the club on the stadium lights. From a boy to a man, I'm never letting go. AC Milan forever, that's all I know. Every season, every match, we bringing the heat. From San Siro to the streets, where we meet. I grew up watching, with my pops by my side. La Guardava, Pom Papa, Milan's my pride. Legends on the pitch, with Paulo in the mix. Nesta Cito, man, that's the fix. Bandito in my soul, I'm repping it loud. Forever Rossoneri, standing tall in the crowd. Bandito, with the red and black we fight. Living for the club when the stadium lights. From a boy to a man, I'm never letting go. AC Milan forever, that's all I know. It's a bond unbreakable, forged in the fire. Rossoneri till the end will never tire. Una vida que el diavolo, we stay strong. Singing AC Milan songs, this love lifelong. From the days of my youth and now I stand. AC Milan, the team that shaped the man. Bandito forever, in red and black I trust. With Milan in my heart, it's more than just lust. Bandito, with the red and black we fight. Living for the club on the stadium lights. From a boy to a man, I'm never letting go. AC Milan forever, that's all I know. But yo, through every win and every painful loss, we stayed united, no matter the cost. Comprando da bambino, watching with pride. With Milan and my father, man, we never divide. Bandito, I'm here till my last breath. For the club I love, I ride till death. Una vida que el diavolo, that's my way. Forever AC Milan till my final day. Bandito, with the red and black we fight. Living for the club on the stadium lights. From a boy to a man, I'm never letting go. AC Milan forever, that's all I know. Yo, through every win, every painful loss, we stand united, no matter the cost. Come quando da bambino, watching with pride. With Milan and my father, man, we never divide. Milanista Report to the grave for the love of Milan. That's how we stay brave. AC Milan, forever we shine. With the devil by our side, we'll never decline. Milanista to the grave for the love of Milan. That's how we stay brave. AC Milan, forever we shine. With the devil by our side, we'll never decline. Yo, yo.
What's up, Milanisti? Just checking my my audio. I'm having issues with this damn mic again. Let's see if this is working. Hold on. Let's check something out. 1 2 1 2. All right, audio's good. What's going on, Milan Nation? All right, it's your host Nicko, as always, and I'm back with a bonus pod. This past weekend we did a pregame, myself and Lab Gorilla, another one of my really good co-hosts from Milanista 360, and yesterday we did a post game with Shane. We went over a couple things, went over the performance of the team. Our thoughts on the defensive side of the pitch, how we did defensively. We kind of slightly touched on that. Udinese didn't really bring it. Let's be honest. Going into that game, reading their tactics and stuff like that, they're a very direct team. They're good in the air. They didn't seem to use that against Milan. They never got out of first gear or fourth gear, or first gear, whatever you want to call it. But they were in neutral the whole game. They didn't offer anything defensively in terms of countering, counter pressure, counter pressing, any kind of high press. Even their counter attacks were not there at all. It didn't expose the fact that we had an inexperienced back at Terracciano and Theo's spot, and also didn't try to expose Emerson too much. Didn't really threaten him outside of the wings. Same thing with their two strikers up top. They didn't offer any real threats or really try to compete with Pavlovic and Chow. All right, so listen, like we said, it's a win, but there's bigger things at stake here. This is what we're covering today. Didn't have enough time to cover those things yesterday because we ran in for like an hour and 20 minutes with Shane. But today, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant and get into some Redbird supporters, cook them for a little bit because there's diversely so, because there's still fans out there which just blow my mind that don't think Redbird's the issue. They think they're putting this, recent performances on the players alone and Fonseca. But there's a bigger issue at our club that it's more of a long-term strategic planning than short-term. All right. And then we're going to get into some Interista talking about Interisti, even though they won today. We'll have some fun with our snake cousins, and then we'll go over the whole complete scoreline of this weekend Serie A roundup. All right, if anybody missed those scorelines. All right, everybody in the chat, as always, do myself a solid. Do us a solid as a whole channel, being that we're trying to grow the channel. Get our word out to more Milanista out there. Spread the word. Subscribe, like, retweet our pods as well, and leave any comments after the show. Appreciate that. I'm Milan Nation, so let's get to it. So the uncut version of yesterday's game. All right, yesterday I was very tactical, very very level-headed about the performance. Listen, we win. A win's a win. An ugly win's a win. Regardless of how we win, when a team wins, it's still 3 points in the bag. But these are the things that I got an issue with. First of all, the fact is, Royale did his job. People that are praising him now, you're out of your minds. He did what he had to do. If you're not putting in an effort in for those 90 minutes or whatever, how long you're on the pitch, you shouldn't call yourself a professional football player. All right. He didn't have a bad game, didn't cost us anything. But for crying out loud, guys, for real, if I see another post or something in the chat saying Royale's had a great performance, he didn't. He wasn't challenged outside of the wing. All right. Let's see how he does against Kvaratskhelia. Let's see how he does against, the Club Brugge wingers. I know I'm not off the top of my head, I don't know their names. But Club Brugge, they usually, develop some really good players, especially on the ball. So let's not, write Emerson Royale as our permanent right back for the season, because you're out of your minds. Second, Fofana. Now I'm seeing a lot of Milanisti out there, just fans in general, calling him a great defender, great CDM. He's not. Again, he's been playing well the last couple games. Yeah, he's starting to warm up, starting to adapt to Fonseca's system, all that. But if you're going to call him great, then Lobatka, then Anguissa, the likes of Hakan, even though we hate the fucking guy to death. We're not, obviously, Milan fans dislike Hakan for a lot of reasons. If you're going to call Fofana great, then those guys, like even Rodri too, and Man City, they're world class. Then they're goats of the midfield. All right, let's stop throwing the word around great like it means nothing, because that actually holds weight when you're talking about athletes, the levels they're at. He's not great. He's good. He's solid, but he's not a great player. Not yet. He could be one day, but not now. All right. As much as we want to support our players, we need to stop pulling that shit. Leave that to the Prem heads to overvalue their players and market them online and say that everybody's the best, have the best defenders, best strikers, yada yada, world class. They have the aura. Let's leave it to the prem heads to do that shit. All right. We need to be smarter than them. We need to actually use our brains a little bit before we start throwing over words like great, world class. Because we currently, our defensive side of the field, we don't have any great or world class players at all. Chow's not great. I don't want to hear the excuse about Chow. Oh, he had a solid game. I'll give it to the kid. But he wasn't challenged again yesterday. Same thing with Pavlovich. Pavlovich got away with a really reckless challenge yesterday. The refs sucked both sides. He missed a ton of calls. Yes, we all know that. But what Pavlovich did inside the box, making a reckless challenge, almost taking the guy's foot off, because he's a reckless player. He's a big kid and he throws his weight around. And we all knew this when we signed him. He's going to make reckless challenges. Everybody said that. Or maybe for the few Serbian fans out there that love him because he's a fellow Serbian and he plays the national team, thinking he's our best defender from the get-go. Get the fuck out of here. He's not. You got to earn your spot. He had a decent game, but he got away with a really reckless challenge. It could have cost us either he could have gotten booked for sure, a yellow, or even a red, and a PK. All right, these calls are not going to go our way every single game. We got lucky today. Sometimes you get lucky. Inter got lucky today as well. We'll get to them in a minute. I heard there was a play with Bastoni. He made a tackle and it wasn't called. Yeah, shit happens sometimes. The guys up at VAR, they're fucking taking their espresso breaks, taking their fucking cigarette breaks, whatever they're doing, and they miss shit. It happens. The ref misses shit. They're human beings. They're not paid off. All this shit about, they're paying the refs off. Show me some docs. Do you have any really valid evidence that the referees are being paid off? I don't think so. Hey, quick thing. So I'm drinking this today. It's Bamboo Paloma. Bought this at the local store down here in Mexico. There's a huge shopping store called Chedraui. It's a local market down here. It's like their version of Kmart, Walmart, whatever. And they have a lot of really good stuff, alcoholic beverages, but this Paloma is excellent. Really good. So cheers, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat really quick. We got a few, huh? Dennis Don. All right, Dennis, you're new to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got lucky. Even the offsides were extremely tight. I don't know your experience, Dennis. I don't know if you've coached, you've played at a decent level. I don't know. I'm not gonna, assume that I do. I have no idea because you're the first time on the show. Excuse me. Dealing with a little bit of a cold here. But we got lucky, especially on the side. Yeah, the ref on both sides missed calls. Yeah, Chuck got stopped for sure. But then, like I said, our Serbian mercenary, Pavlovich, got away with a really reckless challenge as well. So it's even. It evened out. Yeah, we play with 10 men. Yes. But you know what? Other teams play good with 10 men as well for 60 minutes. It takes focus. It takes concentration to do that. You got to stay compact, continue communicating with each other, keeping it compact, making your recovery runs, pinching in, helping each other out, all that stuff on the defensive side that you need to accomplish, to win, to come out with 3 points when you're down a man. All right, and that photo that people are showing online about reindeers, and it's shown that's not, they're promoting it as where's the foul that he tripped over himself. That's a bad angle too. when I showed angle from the back. Because looking at it from my perspective, watching the replay, he barely touched him. But the fact that when a guy's in a full sprint and somebody gives you a little tap in the back, you're going to go. Why didn't Tijani even put his hands up in the first place? I mean, he could have tripped by, but I'm saying that angle that everybody's showing online, trying to say, well, where's the foul? He tripped over his own feet. Show from the backside. Show some context behind that. If you're going to try to support your point of view, your agenda. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be happy about these points. Yeah, it's a game. We won. Okay. Like I said, Dennis, I don't know if you agree with me. There are big issues in hand here. The fact that up to this point, we have Liberali, we have Camarda, we have Vaz, we have Zaroli, who was on the bench. He was on the sidelines. He was up on the stands with Hernandez, with Theo and them in street clothes. I'm not sure what his deal was. The fact that other times he's just been listed as a sub. The kid has barely played on the pitch. And we got the other young, kids that were probably, hopefully, the future of the club, and they're not being even called up for 5 minutes of game time. What is that about? You tell me, Dennis. I want to hear your thoughts. All right. So overall, like I said, and we'll get to the next segment in a second, Redbird supporters, let's not get ahead of us and think let's see if we can go on a run as well. Let's see what we do at our next Champions League game. Because if we go in there flat again and we lose, that means we have 0 points. 0 points in the Champions League. Nothing. I mean, if we can't even win one game, fuck's sake, and look good doing it, and then, the other thing is I've seen some fans saying we played champagne football yesterday. What kind of, is that cheap champagne? Is that $5 champagne from Trader Joe's? Or from your local fucking liquor store, drive-up liquor store? Is that kind of champagne that we're talking about here? If we're talking about top class, champagne football, that wasn't it yesterday. At all. All right. Prime Barcelona was champagne football. The Azuri's last performance, not the last one. The last one they played all right, but the one before that, the Nations League, that's champagne football. If you want to get, that's it. But throwing these turnarounds, champagne football, great players, world class, and saying Musa he's a fucking great player as well. No, he's not. He barely shows up for the national team. He had a goal the other day with assisted by Pulisic. But overall, he's not some star in the American team. He's a good player. He's decent. But sit there and tell me he's world class too, or not even a great player. Come on. World class should be saved for legitimate world class players. They were great as well. Tonali was on his best day. Tonali is great then. If you're talking about Musa and Fofana, Tonali outshines both of them. They'd be cleaning his boots, those two. And we touched on this yesterday. Our midfield that we had in Scudetto, why the fuck did we destroy that? Tell me why, Redbird. Tell me, fans out there, why? For what? if you're serious about being contending for titles every season, forget Champions League, because Inter doesn't even have they have an outside chance of winning, and they have the best team by far none, and the best coach in Serie A by far none. But thinking realistically, if we had that midfield still together to this day, and have added pieces here and there, and gotten Pulisic, and not everybody else. We didn't need Loftus Cheeks needs to get the hell out of the club. Musa needs to be loaned out. Said it again and again. Tajani, fine, whatever. Good offensively. He has his moments, but he's not a brilliant player either. Players like Zidane was a brilliant player. Players like Del Piero was a brilliant player. Clarence Seedorf was a brilliant player. All right? Those are brilliant players because they're magical. They have moments of magic or brilliance on the field. Musa doesn't have a moment of fucking brilliance. Tajani either. Yeah, he makes good passes sometimes. But you know what? You expect those passes from a professional player playing that position. If you can't make a through ball and split the ball between two players, you're worthless to me, especially at that position. I mean, fuck, when I was watching MLS Next tournaments in the United States, the top level of amateur football in the U.S., kids that are from Barcelona's academy that are really good, that have a chance to go to Europe sometimes and try out for the Barcelona academy. Kids from PSG, the top level kids from Miami. Really solid teams from New York, California. And these kids are 16, 17 years old, and they're making those passes at really high speeds and gets pretty good competition. And seeing them against European competition as well sometimes, they're doing that. You can't tell me if you're playing at a pro team and you've had all these years of developing your game in the academy level and playing in your previous squads, you can't make that pass. And when they do make it, everyone's like, "Oh, look at that pass to Tajani." Dude, watch fucking Zidane at his prime. Watch fucking Seedorf at his prime. Watch fucking Busquets at his prime. Watch that midfield of Barcelona during their prime. Watch Cruz when he was playing at Real Madrid, the shit he was doing. The passes he was making, the vision that he had when he was playing. That's brilliance. That's a brilliant player. Musa, Fofana, Tajani are not brilliant players. End of story. Dude, Dennis, again, they have a horrible coach. This falls on Ibra and the director of Futuro and the coach themselves. All right? Ibra, in all his brilliance, he can go fuck himself, by the way. Ibra is a he turned on the club to become part of the suits. Be Jerry's, I don't know, proxy between him and the fan base. AC Milan, I'm just looking something up. Milan, Futuro, Primavera team. Coaches. Where is it? I can't remember his name. AC Milan Primavera. All right, here we go. What was the guy's name? So we got Federico Guidi now. Abate was the previous coach, right? I don't know if he was ever offered a spot at the Futuro or not. You had a guy that was bringing up the Primavera team, knows all the kids. All right, hold on a second before I continue this rant. All right, Redbird Spurs. And he wanted a bigger position. He wanted to coach, and I think he's at Serie A right now for another club. He left. Maybe he didn't like Redbirds the way they were going. Maybe they didn't like that he saw things he didn't like, the way they were tearing up the club. And that's what they're doing, Redbird. They're tearing up this club piece by piece, turning into this American soccer club. It's not longer Milanismo. That third kid is not Milanismo. They put out that garbage of chocolate chip mint. That was awful. It's an awful third kid. We said it before. If you want to say third kid, it's experimental, so be it. Market it that way. But once you market it and you say it's Milanismo, I'm sure there's a lot of people from from Milano, when they saw that shit and been there lifelong supporters of the club, live in that city for generations. Seeing that and calling Milanismo, they're out of their minds. That's just a spit in their face of every Milan fan. And they Yankee shit as well. Disgraceful. And then the fact that let's get back to the Futuro, because I'm in a little of a rant right now. Abati was never, as far as we know, was never off that position. You bring on this guy, Bonero, to head the team. Then Ibra, he puts in his homeboy from Galaxy, LA Galaxy, the former director there, to lead this Futuro program. He's had some experience in Germany, in the Bundesliga, I believe. But he was a mess at Galaxy. He ruined that franchise, that club. They were awful under his direction. You bring in somebody whose performance has been below average, his playing just sucked the last few years, and MLS of all things. And you put him in charge of the Futuro team. And you put in Bonera as your new head coach, I believe. Yeah, he's the new head coach. Let's take a look at his experience, Bonera. And look at Dennis. I think it's Dennis. Make sure. Yeah, Dennis. I got nothing against you, Dennis. Wow. Okay, Dennis. Now, see, you're just assuming now. Now I have an issue. You're coming onto the show. I've watched it. Yes, they're playing bad, but who does that fall on? That falls on the coach and the athletic director. Mostly, they take the fucking blame. You put this guy in Bonero who's got, what was his fucking experience before that as a coach? Dude, I don't even know. I have no idea. He's in Serie A. I don't think he's had even a ton of experience, this guy, man. Bonero. Coaching experience. Let's see. I don't want to get caught. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, Bonero. Let's see. Club. I know he's a former coach. Okay, so he was under John Palos. He was under that 2019. So he was an interim coach for us. Yeah, I do remember that. Listen, you don't put, if you want to win, first of all, they're not even developing these players, Dennis. Of course, I'm going to blame Ibram Bonera for doing bad. Because according to Ibra, I don't know if you support Ibra or not. I have no idea, Dennis. I don't know if you're a Redbird supporter, but you sound like one. I could be wrong, but if you're going to assume that I don't watch games, and I don't talk to people who watch games, I'm going to assume you're a Redbird supporter. that you love Jerry, and you're okay with them ripping the history of the club piece by piece, the fabric of our club. And I would assume then, I'll make an assumption that you are okay with them firing Maldini the way they did, and not getting a really good replacement for him. Because the players loved Maldini. The fact that he came and turned up to their practices in Milanina, the fact that, the relationship we had with these players. You have somebody like, Maldini coming up and talking to you, somebody that played his entire career in Milan. Okay, sure. Dennis, I don't care about Juve. The point is to develop the player. I don't care if I don't want him to win Serie A. I could care less. I do not care. But the fact that this was supposed to be a pathway, you were supposed to be transitioning players back and forth from Futuro to the senior team, we haven't seen jack at all. Nothing. That's my beef. Ibra made a ton of promise. He was running his fucking mouth. He was running his mouth all during the preseason, summertime, during the American tour, going on talk shows and yada, yada, yada. Run his mouth, talking about the plans that we're going to do, and Futuro, and how this. It's about developing players, Dennis. I'll say it again, developing players. If these kids, Liberali, we're going to end up losing them, Dennis. And you're going to be okay with those losing as Liberali. Because all these guys, Liberali, Camarada, we lost Simic already. And for me, he could have been, we don't even need Pavlovic. We could have had Simic, who's a lot younger, good in the air, good on the ball, knows what it means to bleed red and black. And we didn't offer the kid a spot. Yet we picked up Pavlovic instead. The Serbian mercenary. Dude, it's about, who cares about the team? It's about individuality. When a kid is playing, when you're playing in the academy level, and I know it because I coached at an academy in the United States, Dennis. Yeah, and of course, the senior coaches and their scouts, blah, 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 they look at how the team's performing, the academy kids. But they're also looking at individual players. And Voss was supposed to be the next big thing. He's cooled off. He was supposed to burn up. So why would he even call him up? If they're not good, Dennis, why are they being called up? Why? Jimenez looked good last year. He looked decent. Give him minutes, Dennis. Not saying to play all these kids at the same time. You bring up Zaroli, you bring up Voss, you bring up Liberali, the kids who are physically ready to play. Jimenez either, too. But you said you put him Tereshano back there. He didn't make any mistakes, but you got these kids that are seeing their colleagues, the other youngsters in Europe playing already. Yamal, Kourbassi, Pedri. You don't tell me it's a different league. It's not as physical. It's still professional football. Oh, Syria's more tactical. Yes, and Spain's football is very tactical as well. And they're playing against grown men as well. But those kids are given a chance. They need to be, okay, but they need to be given opportunities, Dennis. Dude, Simic was good for us. He's not terrible. I've watched him this game as well, by the way. He doesn't have a great supporting staff there either. And the guy that we got is better, Pavlovic? No. And I'm speaking from a long time of watching football and being around the sport. Again, Dennis, thanks for tuning in. But I got to know, Dennis, and be real, be truthful. Do you support Redbird? And are you good with how they got rid of Maldini, the whole Maldini saga? I need to know, Dennis. I'm going to assume that you are. Because you assume I don't watch any futurity games. I don't, nothing, none of that. So we can play it both ways. All right, enough of that guy. Dennis wants to keep yapping. You can keep going, Dennis. But that's a question I'd like to know the answer to, please. So before we get into it, let's play this track for Redbird and your Redbird supporters out there. There you go. Oh, Redbird. This track is called Redbird Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. Yeah, Redbird Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. All right. So enjoy it. I'm going to play just about a minute into this track, and then we'll get to the next segment of the show. I'll get to you in a minute, Dennis.
A fortress, not some corporate hall. Punks jump up to get beat down. Cardinal and his boys getting run out of town.
All right, that's a little bit of a snippet of this Redbird Punks About to Get Beat Down. And let's get back to the chat before we get to the next segment. Well, Milan is bigger than Redbird, Maldini, and everyone else. Yeah, all right, 100%. At least we can agree on that. And listen. Anybody's more than welcome to put comments in the chat, even after the show. I'm not gonna ban you unless you're just really absolutely, off the chain, off your fucking rocker, and you make some really stupid comments towards me, any aggressive comments. You'll get blocked. But we can disagree. You can have a civil discourse, conversation like two grown men or two grown fans. That's all good. Dude, so Dennis, yeah, whether just, hold on. Well, Dini sacking, maybe getting a better coach. Yeah, listen, at least we can agree on that. It's fine. We don't agree on everything else, Dennis. That's cool. But this is for everybody else in the chat, and especially you, Dennis, because you came out to come out to this show, my show, and assume something about me. You need to dead that right there. You need to stop that nonsense. Don't ever come on my show and assume anything about me. All right. I don't assume anything about anybody listening to the show. If you're, whatever, what kind of fan you are, or what's your experience of watching the game. Okay, one thing from Dennis, and we'll get to the next segment. Good. Futura project investments into team and stadium. All right, Del, so let's touch that real quick. Futura project, I don't like so far. It's still up in the air, mixed reviews, being that they're not streamlining any of the kids. And the fact that they didn't get the coaches has no business being there, Brunetto, and the director of that team has no fucking business. He was a complete fucking failure at LA Galaxy. They got rid of his ass. for destroying that franchise, that club. And just because Ibra and him were buddy real tight back in LA, he brings him on. You wanted to be serious about the story, you put somebody in charge who knows Italian football. Just like you should have put people in charge who know Italian football, running the fucking project, Jerry. And he didn't do that. You get Ibra, who's got no fucking experience. He cares more about being on vacations than being around the team. Making stupid posts about, the 4-3-3 and all this other shit. And showing his fucking scar. Wow, you got a scar right here? I'm fucking impressed. I have scars too from my past. Should I put them online and brag how tough I am? And I'm sure I've got worse cuts than you, Ibra. I just don't go online and fucking tell the whole world about that. All right? Because someone Maldini, somebody you're supposed to be replacing, Maldini was class compared to you. You're a joke. Investment to the team. And this goes out to some of the podcasters out there that last season loved the signings that we got. Of all those signings, Pulisic was the only one is the bright spot of that one by far. He was the best signing, bar none. Tajani, okay. But defensively, he's a liability, especially in that double pivot. You want to stack up the midfield with 4 midfielders and protect Tajani a little bit, you do so. But living him in a double pivot and having Fofana having to pinch in every single time to cover his ass is an issue. Or then when you have put Musa in there. And then let's go to this signings this year. Morata, he's fine, whatever. He's not a game changer. Abraham, he needs to score goals. Our boy Fofana, yeah, he's decent, but he's not a great player, like I said before. He's not a great fucking CDM. He's not world class. He's not excellent. He's not none of that. Pavlovic, whatever. He's a menacing player. It's going to make a ton of mistakes. We don't have room for that in Milan. Same thing with Chow. Royale, we all know about that. Royale has no business being our right back either. He's gotten exposed in the past. He's going to get exposed against better left wingers when he starts playing them. So yeah, this summer signing overall wasn't that great either. Even last summer, we spent 130 mil. We got rid of a fucking true fucking Milanista in Tonali to pick up those players. In the stadium, just because Jerry bought some fucking lands and put a fence around it doesn't mean jack squat. Doesn't mean anything. And we talked about it with some other Milan fans. We think it's some smokescreen to get investors interested into the team. So they start looking at the proposal, seeing what the portfolio of Milan. Oh, you purchased some land, you're looking to build a new stadium, great. But this idea of Cardinal thinking he can come in to Italy without doing your fucking homework and having this grand scheme and talking about, you want to build stadiums, these performance entertainment centers, and do it for other clubs. Okay, it's like you're a fucking politician. That's what politicians say. You make all these fucking promises. What's up, Ricardo 16? Until I see they break fucking ground, start laying some fucking concrete, putting up fucking bathroom stalls, putting up tents, trailers for the electricians and the fucking union people, whoever, if they use union workers in Italy, I don't know. Then I'll take it serious. And I'll see some cranes up there as well. But until then, it's just fucking smoke. He's blowing smoke up our ass. And anybody who still believes we're going to do the stadium, just think again. And one last note. I'm just heating up right now. This goes out to other podcasts out there who, when myself, Nathan, RT, the guys from Rosanary TV, my co-host on Milanista 360, we came out from the get-go, from the beginning. We didn't like Redbird. We hated them from the beginning. We didn't like them, that kind of management coming into the system and to taking over this club. And then certain Milan podcasts, some of them that I was actually, on good terms at the time, some I considered friends, they were strongly opposed to our fucking feelings. They were strong fucking supporters of Redbird because they were our American fucking fans, and saying we're crazy and we hate them when we're not real fans for not supporting management. Management and the club are two different fucking things, silly. All right. And some of them have turned around and now are saying, hey, we actually Redbird out. We don't like Redbird. We don't trust Jerry. We don't like Ferlani. We don't like Ibra. None of those guys. All right. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Show some spine. Show some fucking backbone. I don't want to burn them publicly, but they know who they are. I'm trying to stay away from beefing with people. I don't have time for that. I've called them out before. But we can chat privately. Well, since you put him out there, yes, Martino's one of them, but he's not. He's never been a friend. Fabio, maybe. That's all I'm saying. But stick to your guns. That's all I'm saying. If I see any of you going back, turning a 180 again, and calling Jerry the greatest owner ever, and those other bullshit. Well, Kush, man, he's I don't know. Kush is an interesting character. He does a really. His editing skills are pretty tight on the show. But for fuck's sake, he's so fucking fake, man. Especially when he edits, he cuts in and he shows it. He's watching the Milan games and somebody scores. He puts on this he cues in his feelings about the team, and it's extremely fake. It looks choreographed as shit. And his takes are questionable as well. He says he had some interesting takes on the show today about how Tomori, his only issue is positional, his positioning. It's more than that. I mean, if we want to get into defensive tactics, I'll run circles around you, Kush, any day of the week. You're good at what you do, but defensive tactics, talking about defense, how to teach someone to play defense, that's my world. All right, you're going to lose every single time in that debate about defense. Stick to what you're good at. You're good at editing videos and all that other good stuff, which I couldn't do my best at. But if I see any of you turning a 180 again, you're going to get called out. Online and on this pod. Because that means you show me you have zero spine. Zero spine. Have some spine and just fucking, if you're going to not support Redbird, stay with it. Stay on the fucking train. I think we need to get rid of Chelsea 3. I'll get to that in a second. Cardis. I don't know if the other guy, Dennis, is still in. 3 amigos. Yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about Tamari, um, Abraham. Who's the fucking third? Who's the third? Pulisic, but no, I wouldn't know. He was at Chelsea, but he's been our best signing by far. And it's even better that he's an American player. That's good. Shows them that America can develop some really good players, but he's not world class either. Not even close. If we're gonna call Pulisic world class, fuck's sake, man. World class is Messi. World class is Rodrigo from Real Madrid. World class is shit. Um, Maradona, Cruyff. Those are world class players. No, Cheeks. Yeah, fuck, I forgot about him too. Yeah. And the issue with Tamari, real quick, if you're listening, Kush, to this show, it's not about position. That's one of the very few. It's like one of the many issues with fucking Tamari. His lack of concentration, lack of focus. All right, because he's got the E-pill style of defending still stuck in his fucking brain from all those years at Chelsea. He depends on his fucking speed to make up for his mistakes. You can't do that. It's not. He knows about positioning. I'm sure he does. He just don't want to be in the right fucking spot because he depends on his fucking speed. Just like that, right? Like a lot of right backs and other full backs in Syria. I mean, in EPL, depend on their speed. They rely on the speed. But if you're in the right spot, if you position yourself right, you're not gonna need your speed so much. Yeah, occasionally you do, but not all the fucking time. So Cheeks can go, Tamora can go, Abraham can go, Ibra too, but Forlag can go, Moncada can go, and Jerry can get your ass out of town too. All right, because a lot of us we're tired of the shit, tired of the shit that you've done to the club, and the fact that regardless of who's the next coach, you can hire fucking, I don't know, Constantine or Sadi or whatever. The fact that management is so fucked up, they don't know what they're doing. They're way over their fucking head about European football, especially at a club like Milan. We're at 54 minutes. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut this in a little bit, guys. Where was I? Yeah, the things that they've done. You need just to get the fuck out. If any rich fucking any Saudi princes, if Paolo Maldini's listening to the show, anybody with some serious cash listens to the show, please do us a favor, please. Begging the baby Jesus, all right? Begging to Zeus, begging to the gods, the Maya gods. Buy this team. Get this club into the right fucking hands. So we can be a great club again. And not a fucking embarrassment. Because we are an embarrassment. Maybe not I'm not saying I'm not calling just saying on the pitch. I'm talking about overall as a club, where we're at. And the Italian core, which we've discussed way too many fucking times. And I'm going to keep going on that. I'm not getting off that soapbox anytime soon. We got Gabbia. We got one Italian player. Calabria doesn't count. Calabria, for all I know, he's halfway out to retirement. But we had plenty of players we could have gotten this summer. None. And now they're thinking about getting Italian players affected because of the squad, the depth of the squad for the Champions League. They shot themselves in the fucking foot because they didn't manage the roster right. Now, in January, they're looking to get Italian players. All right, yeah, you're not getting Ricci. Ricci's way out of our fucking price range. There's no way Milan's going to open it to get Ricci. They're not going to get Coyote for right back from Fiorentina. All right. So I don't want to hear that shit from Semper Milan. Oh, they're looking at getting Italian players. They're not. They're looking, but I don't think they're seriously interested in purchasing anybody. Yeah, Ricardo's, yes, 100%. Fonseca is our Tad Lasso. Yeah. Fucking hot today, guys. God damn it. I got this cold too. I've been dealing with the last couple of days. We got 10 people in listening, watching this live. It's not bad for a last minute pod. All right, hold on here. Where's the fuck is the caption? I need somebody to run the fucking board, boys. Next one. Interista fanculo. You fucking snakes. You guys pulled a fucking game out of your asses today. Fuck's sakes. You know? And they got, I guess good news for us. Our Serbi went out with an injury in today's game. And our fucking hated fucking Hakan came out with some muscle injury. Karma's a fucking bitch. And they're not playing so hot. They got a better squad. Yes. They have a better coach. Yes. Anybody going out there telling me Fonseca is on the same level as Ngazi, you're out of your minds. Don't even come to this. Don't even talk to me about that. Don't ever mention it in my face, because you say things like that, you lose all credibility from the start with me, from the get-go. But Interista fangulo, you guys are garbage this season. I fucking hate you. I hope you guys fucking lose out of chance. You get knocked out. I hope you get your hearts broken again. I hope you make it to the semi-fucking finals and you lose a heartbreaking game and you get defeated again. I really hope so. And music to my ears. Seeing Hakan on the sideline, not seeing him on the fucking field. Music to my ears. Let's see what else. Hold on. Calabria should only play versus Napoli and Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, 100%. Hold on, guys. The AC on burning up here. Fucking hot as hell. All right, we're running in about an hour into the show. Not bad. I'm going to call it quits in about 5 or so. At this point, let's hear from the chat. I know Ricardo's has been pretty busy keeping the chat going. Ricardo's, thanks, as always. If anybody else wants any question, comments, here's your time. Dennis, if you're still listening, any closing comments, more than welcome to put them in there. All right. Oh, let's get to the next segment before we'll get back to the comments in a second. This weekend's roundup. So let's get into it. So we're around, where are we at? Where did it go? Where's the score line? I just had it. Son of a bitch, Sofa score. I just had the scores up. All right, so let's look at the standings right now. Napoli's got 19 points. They're in first. Inter 17, Juventus 16. We're running up at fourth. At 14, Fiorentina's at Atlanta nipping behind our asses, with Lazio at 13, Udinese 13, Torino 11, Roma at 10, Empoli at 10 as well. And on the bottom, Venezia. Not a surprise there. And then Monza is struggling as well. They're not having a hot fucking season, Monza. Como's not bad. They're respectable, by the way. They're looking pretty solid. They look very technical under their coach Fabregas. But yeah, score-wise, Inter won. Those fucking snakes 1-0. Roma had their chances. They didn't put fucking anything away. And fuck you, Inter. Where we at? I just had the scores. Son of a bitch. I just Serie A games. Here we go. Let's try this again. All right. So where are we at? There we go. Match day 8. So Genoa 2-2 with Bologna. Bologna came back. Genoa came back late with an equalizer. Como 1-1 with Parma. Our Milan obviously winning 1-0 Udinese. Like I said, not the best performance. Yeah, they held their own defensively, being down 10 men, but nothing to write home about. Being that Udinese didn't provide any challenge at all. Juve, they won. They beat Lazio 1-0. Lazio with a red card. Napoli won 1-0 on a PK late in the second half. Venezia got fucking blanked out. Atlanta 2-0 by Atlanta over Venezia. Lecce got smashed. Fiorentina's looking good. They scored 6 goals against them. Wow. Cagliari 3, Torino 2. Torino's sliding as hell, man. We were off to a pretty good start. Inter, yeah, we know Inter the fucking Snakes. They won. And then tomorrow, Verona, Monza tomorrow. And then 25th, just a quick review of next games coming up. Udinese, Cagliari on Friday. Torino, Como on Friday. Napoli, Lecce Saturday. Bologna, Milan Saturday. Quick thing about Bologna. Even though they lost Calafiori, they're still very good defensively with Lucumi out there in the back line. He's a really good center back. That's another center back we should have looked at this off season, by the way. The guy knows the league. He starts for the Colombian national team. They got a really good defense there. He was one of the big reasons why Mota had that confidence, allowed Calafiori to move up the field a lot because of Lucumi, because he's a very strong center back. That's something we should have picked up on. But again, Redbird fucked up. Didn't want any Italian players or Serie A players. Surprise, surprise. Or actually really good center backs, not just your average center back. At Atlanta's playing Verona, Parma, Empoli on Sunday. Lazio, sorry about that, guys. Lazio, Genoa, Monza, Venezia, Inter, fucking Snakes are playing Juve, and Fiorentina, Roma. And then obviously we got our Champions League game coming up against Club Brugge this Tuesday. So let's see how we perform. And one last thing I want to touch on was Semper Milan. They came out with an article. By the way, I know they got a big following, but man, some of their takes sometimes are questionable. They came out on one of their pods and said, Emerson Royale, he has the potential being the best right back in Syria. He loses all credibility in my mind. You're fucking out of your mind. You got no business talking about football if you make something like that. You can say he's good. He has the potential to be a good center, a good right back, but the best in Syria. And I don't know what to say. Anyway, Semper Milan came out with an article talking about, it was called, where the hell is it? 5 things we learned: defensive solidity and individual quality. So obviously the first one, turning point for Chuck. Chuck scored that nice goal, but Chuck is not consistent enough. He's way too one-dimensional. And Syria is too tactical for him. He needs to be loaned out or just get rid of the guy. I can care less. Second point, defensive solidity helped seal the win. Yes, he did. I give it to. It's not easy to not give up a goal with 10 men down for over 60 minutes. But the point that I wanted to point out, so they put out Malik Chow and Pavlovic kept the line high enough after the red card, and Fikayo Tomori's absent wasn't felt at all. So that's the key one right there. Tomori's absent wasn't felt at all. How about fucking Gabia? How about give some love for Gabia? Gabia, fucking hell, guys. This is where you guys lose me. You're putting out this garbage. I don't know if you have a fucking agenda against Italian players. I have no fucking clue. But to mention, the team didn't miss the absence of Gabi, but they felt the absence of Tomori. Tomori's been fucking garbage too. And it's not, like I said, he's not about his positioning. It's a ton of things wrong with his game right now. Mostly focus. But not to put Gabi in here. Gabi's been our best defender again and again. Best defensive center back that we have. He's the most intelligent. He reads the game extremely well. Anticipates all the things you need from a center back. Sure, he's not perfect, but you know he's not going to take up the ball. He's not going to break the lines with his dribbling, but he's got good vision. I showed the stats for him from last season, his long balls and his medium passes, how good he is. Most importantly, he's a leader, and then most importantly, he's a fucking Milanista. He's been part of this club for forever. And not to mention him, that's just disrespectful. But, you know, that's the agenda you guys want to keep having. Fuck you then. For Fana stepping up, yeah, like I said, he's gotten better, but he's not a great player. He's not world class either. I don't want to hear that noise. Pulisic and Okafor shine. Okafor didn't shine. He didn't really take advantage of that left back. Not like I thought he would. But obviously, he wasn't playing with Theo either to help him in the mismatch. But I know a couple of times Pulisic was going over on that side to create mismatches. Fonseca got his tactics right. Yeah, he made a couple of different tactical changes to the game yesterday. Mostly having Fofana pinch in behind the other midfielder. Either it was Tejan at the beginning of the game and then Musa. He was pinching in. Being that both of them can't defend to save their lives. So, yeah, Semper Milan was another questionable article. As always, they got a shit ton of followers, so people like reading that stuff. All right, let me get to the bottom of it. All right, let me get into the last, Ricardo's 16's last question. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second here. And we're back. All right. So sorry about that, guys. I'm dealing with this cold since the last couple of days. That's what happens when you have kids and they go to daycare or whatever, pre-K. come back with a bunch of just nasty little germs all the time. But trying to stay have a pretty good workout program out every day. Get up early, like 2 hours before work, and work out, get a sweat. But enough of that. What happened to Tomori, Nicko? He's trash. Ricardus, and I'm sure you'd probably agree with this. He was protected, man. He had a good run with Kalulu back there. Even after that too, he was playing well. He had a couple of good performances for us in the Champions League. But I think the fact that there's two things. One, we don't have the same midfield. Having that double pivot of Fofana and Tijani, or Fofana, Musa, whoever you put out there, is not going to cut it to protect them. So that makes a difference, for one. Two, he loses focus. Like, I've seen a ton of his games where he's just fucking lose focus. There was a play last year, Ricardus. Forget the beginning of the season. I don't remember. And Theo was 1v1 with a player outside of the 18-yard box. And Tomori had slid on that side of the field. That's where the ball was. That's where the rest of the defense, the center backs and the fullback had shifted over to keep that back line compact, right? Follow where the ball is, to shift. That's what they do as a defense, right? You stay compact, you shift together as a unit. And Theo got beat. Theo took a bad angle. He got beat. And there was a pass, so the guy dribbled in. I don't remember exactly what happened. But when the guy had beaten Theo, or the pass went into the box, and Theo was behind him trying to chase him down, Tomori, I kid you not, the guy was tying his fucking shoelaces like a 12-year-old. Like, he couldn't wait another 2 seconds, another minute for the ball to go out for a corner kick or a goal kick, whatever, or a throw-in to tie your shoelaces. Or even wait till the ball is on the other side of the field. Instead, the ball is at a dangerous position. Your teammate gets beat, and you're tying your shoelaces. And by the time he got up and reacted, it was too late, because, again, now he was relying on his speed. He's not being intelligent enough to say, hold the fuck on. As fast as I think I really am. And he's a quick center back. To think that you're going to get there in time, because that quick 2-3 seconds, you're not fucking focused during the game, and you're trying to make up for your fucking stupidity, and now you're trying to make this last-ditch tackle to look like Nesta or, fucking Baresi, who you're not, thinking you're one of those guys at their fucking level. You're going to make this world-class tackle and get the ball for a corner kick or a corner or whatever. He ends up giving a fucking PK away to eclipse the guy. So it's shit like that. You just can't rely on your athletic ability to play the game. That goes for anything, even boxing, which I've boxed before at an amateur level. If you think you can go in there thinking you're going to be more athletic than somebody else and stronger, and that's going to be enough to beat a good opponent, you're out of your mind. You need to be fucking focused mentally. Learn to anticipate things. That goes for any sport, especially when you're on the defense. Someone like Tomori should know this by now, but the fact that he grew up in the EPL system, that's where the issue fucking lies. Because Italian academies still produce good defenders. A lot of them don't get a fucking chance because of the system in Serie A, and they get stuck at Serie B, Serie C, or they go over to Germany, or they're going over England now to give a chance to play, or maybe Germany. I don't know, but mostly I see them in. A lot of kids are going to other fucking countries all the time. And never getting a chance at a decent club to get some minutes. He's not progressing though. It's time for center backs to develop. He's the same player who arrived several years back. He is. And the point you made earlier before about Kalulu, fuck sakes, man. Like Mota is unlocking that kid. Oh, MCIG, what's up? Good seeing you again, my friend. What's happening? And you know, MCIG, you can attest to this. I'm not saying there's not good defenders in the EPL. There are good defenders. You have Saliba, you got Virgil van Dijk. You know, they have good defenders. You've had good defenders in the past as well. Stam, you know, just to name a few. Ferdinand was a pretty good defender back in his day. But in some cases, like with what's the right back from Man City, Walker, he relies on his speed. He's a speed merchant. Tomorrow's a fucking speed merchant as well. And yeah, the right coach could change that and teach him, or the right mentor. Someone to mentor, take him under his wing to teach him how to learn the angles, how to anticipate all that, those little fucking things to add to your fucking tool belt to be a better defender. To maybe one to be fucking world class. You know? So there you have it. I'm feeling the blues cause we lost the Scours again, but yes, Maury has been with us before we moved to go down. Yeah. Stones was a joke. Like at the end of the day, just want to close out the show and just say, thanks everybody for locking in, for supporting the channel. Ricardo16 always, MCIG, even Dennis earlier for tuning in and, you know, keeping the chat going early on. Appreciate it. All right, Milan Nation and EPL Nation as well. You know, hey Vince, what's going on, Vince? Vince, you're catching the tail end of the show. Maybe you were listening in. All right, cool. What's happening? Good insight. Thanks. Appreciate it, Vince. Listen, at the end of the day, myself and these guys, the rest of us, Shane, Husney, Lab, we all do this because we love the club. We love the colors. We could care less who's managing the fucking club. That's never going to stop. But like I said, there's a bigger problem in Milan, and that's more than just the coach and the players. It comes to management, because tomorrow they can bring any other manager, but if the manager's asking too much, is trying to dictate the market, they're not going to like it. There's going to be a lot of fucking headbutt, a lot of personal fucking fighting inside, you know, behind doors between Ibra and Forlani and the head coach and all that shit. And they're not going to hear it. They're going to bring another coach who doesn't have the fucking cred to go in and request things. And that's facts. Yeah, Vince, man, we don't have a set schedule. This was kind of a last minute. Usually I try to do a pregame. It's more of a tactical dive into the defensive tactic between, you know, of our team and the opposing team, and some insight on the other team, like the coach, how the system he plays, formations, things, key matchups, things that we need to do, matchups we need to win to win the game. It's usually the day before, usually late at night my time, or early in the morning around 8:30 EST. I'll try to hop on while everybody's still asleep in the house. And usually we do post games too, within like an hour after the game. Now, obviously, Milanista 360, that's the original show. They're usually on Sundays. I don't know if they're not. Sometimes they get on, depending on Shane's schedule and everybody else's as well. We're dealing with so many different time zones. You know, me with Central Time, we got UK time, Madrid time, and fucking Asia time over there. So it's difficult to get everybody together. All right, everybody that's tuned in, Vince, Ricardo 16, Dennis, MCIG, everybody, thanks again. All right, stay locked in for the next few minutes. We're going to play a track for our Interista cousins. Fuck you, Inter. No way, Forza Milan. And fuck you, Redbird. I need somebody to run this board. All right. Later, fellas.
You know what's real. Milan run the city, we the kings for real. Set to the red and black, get crushed where you stand. Messing with the Rossoneri, I could just kill a man. Interista Culo, you snakes better crawl. Milan's in our blood, we gon' watch y'all fall. Rossoneri riding high, got the whole land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Yo, Inter fans talk, but they soft like sheep. Step into our zone, you know it's too deep. Shot zeros hours, y'all just renting space. When Milan comes through, y'all know your place. Y'all snakes in the grass trying to slither and slide, but we see right through it, man, we got too much pride. Rossoneri, we light up the stands, while y'all trying to fake, we got the real fans. Red and black forever, we the kings of the town. Interista trying to climb, but we knocking them down. Y'all can talk that talk, but we bring that heat. Milanista forever, y'all can't compete. Interista Culo, you snakes better crawl. Milan's in our blood, we gon' watch y'all fall. Rossoneri riding high, got the whole land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Every derby day, it's the same old song. Interistas get loud, but they never last long. When the whistle blows, it's all about pride. We crush those snakes, make them run it high. Y'all wanna claim the city, but it ain't yours to take. We run Milan, we decide your fate. Legends built this, from Maldini to Sheva. Y'all just riding luck, we on a whole new level. When the game kicks off, it's war on the pitch. And we fight with the heart, never switch. Y'all think you fly, but we always land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Interista Culo, you snakes better crawl. Milan's in our blood, we gon' watch y'all fall. Rossoneri riding high, got the whole land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Yo, Inter's trying to step, but they ain't got the game. Milanista pride, y'all just looking lame. We own these streets, we own this turf. You reppin' blue and black, man, what's that worth? We crush the snakes every chance we get. You running your mouth, but you ain't a threat. So step back, cause we bring the fire. Milanista empire forever higher. The Rossoneri, we scream red and black in our veins. While you dream of victory, we bring the pain. Y'all claim you're kings, but you're stuck in the mud. Milan's our life, it's more than just. Interista Culo, you snakes better crawl. Milan's in our blood, we gon' watch y'all fall. Rossoneri riding high, got the whole land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Every derby day, it's the same old song. Interistas get loud, but they never last long. When the whistle blows, it's all about pride. We crush those snakes, make them run it high. Y'all wanna claim the city, but it ain't yours to take. We run Milan, we decide your fate. Legends built this, from Maldini to Sheva. Y'all just riding luck, we on a whole new level. When the game kicks off, it's war on the pitch. And we fight with the heart, never switch. Y'all think you fly, but we always land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Interista Culo, you snakes better crawl. Milan's in our blood, we gon' watch y'all fall. Rossoneri riding high, got the whole land. Messing with Milan, I could just kill a man. Yo, Inter's trying to step, but they ain't got the game. Milanista pride, y'all just looking lame. We own these streets, we own this turf. You reppin' blue and black, man, what's that worth? We crush the snakes every chance we get. You running your mouth, but you ain't a threat. So step back, cause we bring the fire. Milanista empire forever higher. The Rossoneri, we scream red and black in our veins. While you dream of victory, we bring the pain. Y'all claim you kings, but you stuck in the mud. Milan's our life, it's more than just.